Good morning. Good morning, everybody. You were listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is the Friday Morning Buzz. Woo! The energy in studio is just fabulous today. Thank you, Lara. So I'm your host, Gabi Lutz, joined by my co-host, Terry Dickerson, my segment host, Gina Morelli, and our sportscaster, Emily Stribble.
That's me.
I think me and the little gremlin in the corner, literally will say Emily's name just throughout the day. We literally be like, Emily Stribble. It is in fact a thing.
That's amazing.
And I feel like I needed to let you know that.
I'm just gonna be in the SCM and I'm gonna hear my name from down a
From
corridor.
the distance.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
Oh,
and
no.
every week, every day, honestly. Anytime you're mentioned, that's what we say.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. For those who are on Facebook, I hope you like my new sunglasses. This is an every week thing. I hope you love them because I love them
She looks so good.
and I look fabulous, and that's all
Wow.
that matters. But yeah, so we've got a great show lined up for you guys. We are going to be talking about, in the first hour, we're going to be talking about the shooting that took place at the American Dream Mall and Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who was voted to the Supreme Court.
Woo.
What? Crazy, super good stuff. But first, hey Terry.
Hi.
Hey,
Back to my roots.
you want to do a newscast?
I think I do.
Wow, thanks.
Of course.
Do that.
Do that. In international news, Russia has been suspended from the United Nations Human Rights Council after a vote amongst General Assembly members. The vote needed a 2/3 majority of the vote in order to pass. The final tally was 93 in favor, 24 against, and 58 abstentions, saying that thousands of civilians in Bucha and other Ukrainian towns have been killed, tortured, raped, and robbed by Russia's military. Ukraine's UN ambassador Sergei Kislitsia said the reasons for suspending Russia are, quote, obvious and self-explanatory. Despite the increasing death toll, Russia has denied partaking in any harming or murdering of any civilians. In national news, in Washington, D.C., 2 men have been arrested and charged with falsely impersonating a federal officer after the two pretended to be special agents with the Department of Homeland Security. Since February 2020, Aryan Taherzadeh and Haider Ali have been impersonating federal agents in order to get close with several Secret Service agents assigned to the White House and another to the First Lady's protection by offering favors. 4 Secret Service members in connection with the 2 men have been placed on administrative leave. In local news, a journalist, Erica Bowler, founder and editor of Press Run, was killed by a New Jersey Transit train near the Watchung Avenue station on Monday night. The Montclair Boughton line struck and killed him while he was biking that evening. In his career, Bowler had a frequent presence as a guest on CNN and CNBC discussing politics. Many have expressed their condolences on the matter through social media, with Hillary Clinton tweeting, quote, "I'm devastated for the family and friends, and we will miss his critical work." Today's weather is currently clear and 47 degrees with a high of 61 degrees and a low of 46 degrees. And that is all for the newscast today.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Absolutely.
I just want to say a real quick thing.
Mhm.
The thing of the man, yes, was killed by the train.
Yes.
I had a thought about that last night, but I didn't know about this.
You had a random thought
About a
unrelated?
train. Yes. Because you know how the train things, like they for the cars not to go through, they go down the little like bars.
Mhm.
What if a car gets stuck in there? Can it open? Or is there like a sensor that like won't close it down if somebody's in
That's
there?
a good point.
No, I think it just closes,
I
and
think it
if
just
you
closes.
are dumb enough to drive in between, you're stuck.
You should probably just get out the car.
But what if you're not dumb enough? What if you just have dumb luck?
I think you could break it. You know how like the sign,
Yeah.
the things up here in Montclair constantly
Yeah.
break because people drive through them. I think it'd be like that.
Okay, I just, and I know that's not funny or anything. I mean, that was, yeah, but I just that I had that thought last night. So the fact that came up in the news update, I was, I just had to bring that up.
I had that thought yesterday too.
Did you really?
Yeah. Wow, you guys are linked.
We share brain cells.
Love
Anyway,
that.
That's horrifying.
one brain cell. We actually share
That's
two.
horrifying.
and
They were so-
Balances between the two. She's running the board right now.
Yes. All right, Emily Struble.
That's me.
You want to do our sports? Sports.
All right. Last night, the MLB had their long-awaited opening day. Cubs shortstop Nico Horner hit the first home run for the MLB season. His team went on to win 5-4 over the Brewers. The Mets took down the Nationals 5-1 last night, and the Yankees are set to take on the Red Sox tonight at 1. On the green, Tiger Woods has made a huge return. Just 13 and a half months ago, Woods was in a horrible car accident with leg injuries so severe that doctors considered amputation. Yesterday, he made an unbelievable and shocking return to the Masters. At the 18th hole, he was applauded as he finished the day with 1 under par, 71 with 3 birdies and 2 bogeys. Moving on to hockey, despite outshooting the Canadiens 37-26, the Devils fell short, losing 7-4. The Toronto Maple Leafs superstar Austin Matthews made history twice last night with his 55th and 56th goal of the season. These goals broke the Toronto single-season scoring record and set the record for the most goals by a U.S.-born player in a season. His 2 goals helped pull off a win for the Toronto Maple Leafs, pulling off a 4-3 victory over Dallas. On the hardwood, the 79ers fell short to the Raptors 119-114. The Warriors also beat the Lakers 128-112. Here in Montclair, the lacrosse team will look to keep their 3-game winning streak alive as they face off against TC&J tomorrow at 3:30. The baseball team will have a doubleheader against Rowan on Saturday at 11:30 and 2:30. That's all I got for sports.
Sports.
Can I just say that I know I always say I don't understand sports, but everything you said, like I understand. So like, do I understand sports?
Yeah, I think
think that's
just
it.
did a
You're
good
just
job, you know?
fantastic.
Love sports.
But I just want to I feel as though maybe I do. Maybe I do know sports.
we gotta go watch a game. Give
you
me
know,
your choice.
and I could understand it. Like I'm sure I could understand what was going on.
Totally.
I'm just that good.
Yeah.
Boom. What'd you send me the other day, Lara? Oh yes, there's yep. There is a place that we want to go.
Where are we gonna
That
go?
is sports for women. It's a place. I'll tell you later.
Cool.
So we're gonna get into our stories for the day. Yeah, this one is very sad. Also, like scurry, because I didn't think that was happening. I didn't know that it was happening, and it makes me scared because I kind of wanted to go to this place, and now I'm afraid to. One person was shot inside the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. Police are searching for at least one suspect. An active police investigation is underway after one person was shot inside the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey, which is not too far from here. New Jersey State Police say the shooting happened inside the mall in the Meadowlands just before 6 p.m. on Thursday, so yesterday. They say that one victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but the extent of injuries is not yet known. It is not clear if the victim was an intended target, but police believe there was one shooter and that they are no longer at the mall. Well, I'd hope not. The mall is probably closed right now. They are also looking for 2 people who may have been with the shooter. As of last night, according to the Lakewood Scoop, one suspect reportedly is in custody and one at large. Eyewitness Desiree Summers described the terrifying moments when she heard gunshots ring out. Summers said, quote, "We were shopping in American Eagle when we loudly heard boom, boom. Then we see people running and screaming and they were yelling, 'Gunshots, go.' And then we found the nearest fire exit and we found our way out of the mall." End quote. New Jersey State Police later determined that the incident was not an active shooter, but the panic spread throughout the mall as people took shelter anywhere they could. Police say that the mall will remain closed. This is, like I said earlier, this is scary to me because like me and Lara like wanted to go there like last week. We didn't, but we wanted to. So it's somewhere that like we know and that we can go to because it's so close.
Right.
Yeah,
It's fearsome.
it's scary because like I've been to the mall, the American Dream, and it's huge. Like I feel like I got
Yeah.
lost going. So imagine like trying to run out of the mall. Like you hear that and you're trying to run out of the mall, but you like can't find an exit, or you're like
And you don't know
where you're
going.
going and you're going in the wrong direction. Like that's honestly so
That's
scary.
like it's scary no matter where you are, but I feel like it is scarier because if you don't know where you're going and you're lost in the mall, which you can get lost in regular sized malls.
Yeah.
Seriously. And that one is even worse because what is it, like 3 floors?
Yeah.
And you don't
It's
even know where you're
huge.
going half the time.
Like
Yeah.
at least if you were somewhere you knew, like you know the exits, you know where you're at, like you can find the quickest way to go, whatever. But if you don't know
Right.
where you're at, like especially because the American Dream Mall is huge.
Because if we were back home and we went to like the Deptford or the Cherry Hill Mall, we'd be
Yeah.
out of there like
In a
so
second.
quick. Yeah.
Especially Deptford. I know that place
Especially
like the back of my
Deptford.
hand.
That was the spot.
That's where I went every day middle school.
But-
Not every day, every weekend.
And this was scary because I was with some friends last night, and one friend was supposed to come over to our dorm to study, and when I got home and I was like, "Oh, where's so and so?" And my friend was like, "Yeah, like they're stuck in the American Dream Mall right now. Like they're
So you know somebody who was there.
like mutual, but
Yeah.
it was scary in the sense I didn't really know that person because it's a classmate of my friend, but it's just like it affects everybody, and it hits harder when you know people and it's quite literally 15 minutes away from where you live.
Exactly.
So I feel like situations like these, I feel unfortunately other people can like experience, like understand what I'm talking about when I say it really resonates with you when it happens right in your backyard.
Yeah.
Because we see all these things on the news and you're like, wow, that's really crazy, and then it happens to you, and then it really sets in, and this is a real reality that we have to deal with day to day.
And nobody thinks it's going to happen to them, and then they're in that
Until it does.
situation and it does happen. And that's my fear, is that like, and I don't live in fear, like mind you, like I don't do that, but it is something that crosses my mind every once in a while. Like this happened to other people who didn't think it was ever going to happen to them. Like what if it does happen to me at some point? And it's a scary thought to have, but it's just the truth. Like it can happen. Anything can happen to anyone.
Yeah, and it's the fact that we consciously have to be prepared for the worst in that sense, and constantly remembering that there are harsh realities in our country in particular that we need to constantly be looking over our shoulders, still going about our daily lives, but with caution, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you never know at this point. It happens anywhere and at any time.
It's absolutely terrifying. But there's something that's Lara has her hand raised.
No, I just
Lara,
it's nice.
your hand's just
Oh,
raised for
she's-
no reason.
she's
She looked like,
stretching.
sorry guys, Lara looked like she was raising her hand to say something.
It's
So I had to ask because
Call on me.
at this point I'm good.
You
That's
in
what we're
the
gonna start
front.
doing. Yeah, when you put your hand up and you just like it. Yeah, sure, I've done that before. Whatever.
shifting away
Shifting
from
away from something very tragic.
very heavy. So the Senate has confirmed Jackson to be the first Black woman in the Supreme Court. So the Senate yesterday voted to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, which is very exciting. Jackson will become the first Black woman to sit on the court and only the 8th who is a not white man. She will replace Associate Justice Stephen G. Breyer after Supreme Court's term ends in late June or early July. Jackson is the first Democratic nominee to the High Court in 12 years. Thursday's 53-47 vote over a 6-week confirmation process, and it began in February with President Biden introducing Jackson as a distinguished nominee who would, quote, help write the next chapter in the history of the journey of America, end quote. Senate Majority Leader Charles E. Schumer said, quote, this milestone should have happened generations ago, but we are always trotting on a path towards a more perfect union. America today is taking a giant step towards making our union more perfect, end quote. This is very exciting. And
Absolutely.
it feels so good to have representation in legislative bodies and judicial bodies of our country. Being a person of color, being a Black and Filipino woman, seeing someone else do it and knowing that other girls who look like me can do it. And we have that representation where people like me feel so unseen. It's just so liberating to finally see someone cross that finish line and still is working for our country and representing our country. So this is just so thrilling to me. And I just feel so happy to have representation in a country that tends to not serve people like me. So hopefully we can get some improvement going here with her being on the Supreme Court. So I'm very excited
for sure. And we were talking about this like 2 weeks ago, a week or so
yeah
ago?
when she was getting
like nominated.
And I forgot what that's called, when it's like they're asking her a bunch of questions and stuff like that. But
and they were really coming at her.
They put her on the chopping block,
and you know what, she made it through the chopping block,
and she did make it through.
What is this, chopped?
It is chopped.
What is this, chopped?
And she's the winner.
And that 53 to 47 vote low-key scared me, and so that's very close.
It is very close.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are a lot of times where it's very close.
Yeah,
but
that's very true.
I'm glad that it has gone through and she is there and she's now representing, and I feel like this is going to bring big changes for America.
And it brings a different perspective.
Exactly, which is what we need as a country.
The country needs to like stray away from this white-centric view of how we should run things because of our diversity, and because we need to break down so many historical atrocities that have been implemented into our society. It starts with representation in our legislative and judicial bodies, and et cetera, et cetera. You need to represent the people that you serve. We literally had talked about this last week. How do you operate if you don't represent the people that you serve? So this is really exciting for the future of the country.
Yeah, for sure. Because America is literally just a big melting pot. So how are you not going to have those people to represent you? And now here we are. And as you said, you feel seen, and I think that's great. And it's honestly a win for sure. On that note, we are going to take a quick break here on the Morning Buzz, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite subject, COVID.
Whoa.
So stay tuned for that. But for now, here's a fun little thing for you. And we are back here on the Morning Buzz. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yeah, you're welcome. I thought that was very exciting, and it was not exciting in the studio. I'm all like, we're back, and everybody's like, yeah, we're back.
We back.
Woo! I guess we're back. I don't know. But that's fine. And I guess that energy is staying there because we're talking about COVID. Whoa, crazy, so fun and exciting. Wow. See, the energy is just so here. The BA.2, I'm never going to know how to pronounce this one, subvariant is now 72% of the new COVID cases, and experts say don't panic. So that's good. You thought she was gone? You thought wrong. She is back. Well, she never really fully left, but she's back and fuller than ever. The Omicron variant BA.2 subvariant continues to spread rapidly throughout the US. And according to the CDC, about 72% of all COVID cases are the BA.2. The new CDC estimate is up from about 55% a week ago, when the subvariant, which is thought to be more contagious than the original strain of Omicron, became the dominant variant of the coronavirus circulating in the country. But despite its spread, health experts see no cause for alarm in the US. That is because there is no indication the subvariant is more severe than the original Omicron strain, and because the high level of immunity in the country from vaccines and previous infections is unlikely to make it a major threat. Dr. Christopher Murray, a professor of health metric sciences at the University of Washington, said, quote, "I would not be hugely concerned about BA.2, end quote." And according to an NBC News tally, COVID case counts remain low in the country as of Tuesday. The 7-day average of COVID cases is at about 29,000, down by 19% from 2 weeks ago.
At this point, I feel like COVID strands are like fads in middle school,
Mhm.
like silly bands. Like, what's gonna be the next one, guys?
Silly bands.
Knee-high
I love
high
silly
tops.
bands.
The knee-high socks, the hats,
Yeah.
like the Skechers that glow up. Like, what's gonna come
The
next? Like,
Skechers that glow up are still cool. Don't even.
Oh,
What?
sorry,
So are
I'll take
silly
a
bands?
step back.
Yeah, take a step back, Emily. No, I'm just kidding. But no, you're pretty much right. Lara.
slap bracelets.
Lara
Yeah,
said
slap
that
bracelets.
the it would be slap bracelets, yes, which is valid. Honestly,
so
slap
valid.
bracelets look fun though.
Also, the names, they're pretty something. I can't even say Omicron right half the time.
Omicron. People say it weird. I don't know, and I don't think it truly matters because it's so new that I guess it's just whatever you want to call it. You call
Whatever
it.
it is
Honestly,
what it
is. But that's the whole thing, is that these are just, coming and going and coming and going, and they just get less and less scary as it goes on, which to me is
Yeah.
great, though they keep coming. I mean, BA.2 has been out for a little bit now.
Mhm.
It's the first time I'm hearing of it, so that's good.
It's a
That's
little,
because you don't pay attention here. We've talked about this like 3 different times.
God, I was looking up Zoop House. Leave me.
So
it's a little reassuring to know that it's not more severe
Yeah.
than Omicron, because it's just a sub variant.
yeah.
Because I have really bad COVID anxiety, so this was
Do
really
you?
kind of reassuring.
Well,
'Cause I was like,
this
what's
is good
gonna
then.
happen?
It's good that experts are telling you, like, especially because when you do have that fear, that experts are telling you to not really worry.
Yeah,
That's good. And the immunity thing is true. Like, if you have COVID, like, you can still test positive 6 months after, and you're
Mhm.
basically immune from it for those 6 months or so. I mean, everybody is different, but so it is good for now that we've gotten to that point where, like, if we're being honest, I got an email that said I was exposed in a class like last week. Okay, I've gotten tested, I'm negative, but they were like, you don't have to quarantine. School was literally like, you don't have to quarantine. You can still go to classes if you have the booster, like
Mhm.
if you have all of it, of the above. And I don't think anybody else in my class, except for the person who got it, actually got it.
yeah.
Because like we all
We
tested.
Yeah, we still wear masks in classrooms
Yeah.
anyway, so it just adds like multiple layers of protection.
Exactly. And everybody got COVID during winter break. Like, I feel like if you didn't get COVID during winter break, you weren't following the trends.
Sorry, babe.
I never
Y'all
follow
be,
the
y'all be
trends.
safe though.
Okay, so here's my thing, is that I never tested positive, but I'm almost positive I had it.
Mm,
And I think that happened to a lot of people. If they didn't test positive, they at least were sure that they probably had it
Yeah.
at some point. And and I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's also a good thing because of the immunity aspect of it.
yeah.
And these variants are getting less and less strong. So to the point where I mean, some people, of course, are different, but it's basically becoming a common cold.
Yeah,
slowly but surely it's
Slowly.
becoming a common
we're
cold.
getting there.
And of course there are still people who do, have other health issues that it does affect more.
Mhm.
And I'm not, putting them down, because that does happen. But to the average person who doesn't really have health issues and has gotten vaccinated and boosted, this is becoming the common cold. And a lot of people are vaccinated, and a lot of people are boosted, and a lot of people have gotten it. So at this point, it is
Hopefully
less scary right now.
Gradually getting to normalcy as our semester ends and
Yes.
summer comes. So it's a little we're seeing a silver lining.
Yeah,
hopefully.
it's
Knock on
coming
wood,
slowly but
everyone.
surely. It's coming through.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm about to bring the mood down a little bit.
Ugh.
I'm so sorry.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I think I will. Gotta keep our audience informed. So, everyone, Oklahoma lawmakers passed a near total ban on abortion. So this bill would criminalize performing an abortion in almost all cases, except where it quote could save the life of a pregnant woman in a medical emergency, end quote. Medical professionals convicted under the laws face fines up to $100,000 and 10 years in prison. This comes as the Supreme Court weighs a case that could overturn abortion rights across the U.S. later this year. Oklahoma's House of Representatives, in which Republicans hold a supermajority, voted to send the bill to the governor's office by 70 votes to 14. The state's governor, Kevin Stitt, would be presented with the bill for his approval. The Republicans have already committed to signing into law any legislation that restricts abortion rights. Republican Representative Jim Olson, who authorized the bill, said he was, quote, thrilled by its passage and said that legislation could see, quote, many lives of babies saved, end quote. But pro-choice groups said that the bill is a devastating blow for women, noting it comes after the state because a major decision from women from neighboring Texas seeking abortions after the passage of extremely restrictive laws in the state last year. Ugh.
So, America, explain. America,
Yeah.
explain.
Why?
does
I'm
it
trying to
keep-
find words that are FCC appropriate.
FCC really said no.
They really did.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
I-
infuriating.
Okay. Let's find a silver lining real quick.
Is there?
There's not, but there is.
Okay.
If they didn't
At least-
completely banning
At least there is still the women who might get into a medical emergency will still be safe.
However,
that depends on
However,
them. Like, is there where's the
Exactly.
fine line for that?
which is
It's a little blurry.
it's probably the line is probably like, when it comes to the point where it's either the mom is going to die or the child is going to die, they're picking the child dying over the mom, which at least you're picking that. But what I don't understand is if you're not valuing the child's life during that scenario,
yeah.
then why would you value it at
I
other
feel like
times?
the thing
Like
is,
I get
yeah.
it, but like if the mom's not technically valuing it, then why are you?
yeah, I think that
Does that make sense?
yeah, it
Okay.
does. The tricky thing about these types of legislations is that it's so vague that it gives so much power into the hands of, let's say, a doctor who is more pro-life than pro-choice, claiming that their patient isn't really in a medical emergency. Let's say they find out early on in the pregnancy, like this is going to be a very high risk pregnancy. This is maybe, you have to monitor it, or maybe you should consider other options, and they don't go that other option route because of their views, because many times other doctors and even pharmacists use their views to make this medical decisions instead of just being completely unbiased and treating the patient as they would any other patient. So that's the tricky thing that I worry about, the save the life of a pregnant woman in a medical emergency, because the lines aren't very defined and could cause women to be significantly at harm early on in the pregnancy and while they're pregnant and when they're in labor. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
But I just want to hope that if you're a medical professional, you wouldn't put your values in front of somebody's health because you are a medical professional.
Absolutely. And
So, I
it's
mean, we can only
unfortunate.
hope for that.
We can hope. There's been so many stories of people doing so, and it's the way they take a vow to not do that.
And then they do it anyway.
And then they do it anyways. So I guess we don't have a choice but to see how this pans out for
Yeah.
Oklahoma and then later on in the Supreme Court for the rest of the country. But it's really worrisome.
Yeah. So I mean, that is a problem that we have and that we're dealing with. And I wish that what's hard is that there's so many different opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we are correct. Others think they're correct.
Everyone thinks they're correct.
And everybody thinks they're correct. And that's where it's hard, because it's like if they go with what we like and what we appreciate, others will be mad. And then but we get mad, and it's a whole complicated thing. And that's what awful is. I personally think, these are my opinions, that just let people live their lives.
I agree. And I think there should be more science to
for
back
sure.
that what defines a baby and what defines just a fetus, so that people have things to reference instead of
Yeah.
referencing their own ideologies and systems of faith to
Mhm.
make decisions for the entire country or
Yes.
entire states. So that's what I think.
Yeah. And and these opinions reflect us, not the station. We cannot represent everybody in the station because that's a lot of people. So on that note, we talk about this often, so I feel like we can move on, because I feel like we always say our opinions on this. So we've basically said
That's
it all
true.
at this point. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about good news. Because you know what? We're
Yay!
sick of bad news. But for now, here is Touch by Animal Sun, which I think Animal Sun actually released a song like today or something. I don't know. Emo sent something in our Discord. So
Ooh.
here's Touch by Animal Sun. And happy hour is in fact happening today, 3 to 4 p.m. And yeah, and I'll probably be there. So you should tune in for that because I'll be there. And I think that's what you care about. If you're listening right
Yay.
now, you care about me, and I think you should listen. Some of you might not, but that's okay because I care about you, friend. Anyways,
Friend.
we're back here on the Morning Buzz, and yeah, here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. That was so fast. I talk so fast sometimes. I hope
Should be
listeners understand.
zooming.
Sometimes I do zoom.
But it's exciting because we have a lot of good news.
We do. We have good news.
Good news, everyone.
I'm doing this one, right? Yeah, I'm
Yes.
doing this one. We had already talked about who is doing this story, and I forgot. Sorry. So, good news. Metallica donates $500,000 to help feed Ukrainian refugees. So Metallica's charity, All Within My Hands, have donated this $5,000 to support the Ukrainian refugees. And the money will be sent to the nonprofit, non-government organization World Central Kitchen, which provides meals in response to humanitarian, climate, and community crises. Yes. The initiative, which was founded by Chef Jose Andres, will be feeding those in Ukraine who have escaped the country due to the ongoing Russian conflict. Of the donation, drummer Lars Ulrich, I hope I said that right. People will literally hate me if I didn't, said, quote, "The work that Chef Jose Andres and the dedicated World Central Kitchen cooks do on the front lines in a humanitarian crisis is nothing short of incredible," end quote. To further Metallica's cause and to reach their goal of $1 million over the next 2 months, the band are selling new t-shirt designs by artist Andrew Kremians. All funds raised from these t-shirt sales will benefit the World Central Kitchen's #Chefs for Ukraine campaign. Frontman James Hetfield, wow, I cannot speak, I'm so sorry. The guitarist Kirk Hammett and guitarist Kirk Hammett are additionally auctioning off the guitars they will use to play America's national anthem at the upcoming annual Metallica Night on May 24th, an event that's held alongside the San Francisco Giants baseball team. Wow, I really cannot talk.
I think you
I
got
messed
through
up
it,
like
and you
12
did.
times.
You did fantastic.
I am so sorry.
It's okay,
But that's okay
because this is really exciting.
because this is great news.
And it's always good to see philanthropy for crises such as this,
Exactly.
especially since we just brought in so many Ukrainian refugees, and we need to be doing what we can, considering that we can't get physically involved, and hopefully we don't get physically involved, if that makes sense, but we can get involved in the sense of helping the people with our resources.
Exactly.
So this is really heartwarming.
And
honestly.
$500,000 is a lot of money, and the fact that they want to raise 1 million is even better.
And doable, honestly.
It is
with
especially when
Metallica-
you're Metallica.
Exactly.
Very doable.
And I really appreciate when celebrities such as Metallica use their platforms for things like this when it really matters, because
Exactly.
when you have so many resources and you keep them all to yourself, such as maybe other world billionaires who do so, it puts a lot of hope into the communities when you see people with resources give back.
And like with the t-shirt design, first of all, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And because it makes people want to even more, because
Give
some
someone
people
an
are
incentive.
selfish.
Yeah.
And they don't want to just give their money. So when they give their money and they get something in return, and then Metallica's being not selfish and they're taking that money, and instead of keeping it for themselves, they're going and giving it to people who need it.
It's a really
I
smart
think it's
marketing
great.
move,
It is.
because
It's very smart.
our country tends to be a little individualistic, and everyone cares about themselves. So if you give them an incentive and a what's in it for me, then they're more likely to participate.
It's unfortunate that we have to do that.
It's unfortunate, but it's better to play to what you know rather than just hope people do the right thing.
Yes, precisely. So I mean, good for them.
Yeah,
I give props to Metallica, and this is great.
Hopefully more people join the bandwagon.
Exactly. And I think slowly but surely people are, so especially the longer this goes on, people are like, oh yeah, we need to. So that's great.
Honestly,
we're going to take the shortest break ever. We're going to come back, and then we have,
it's like it never happened. It's gonna be such a short break.
It's such a short break. So short that you're gonna be like, what? It happened? That's crazy. And then we're gonna come back and we have a new segment. Our third favorite segment of the week, probably.
What?
We'll see. But stay tuned.
Joe, guess what? DC Comics is doing
No, you didn't want to listen to me. I literally said we have like 10 seconds and you went, yep, we are back.
What was that?
I told you it was a quick break.
It was
I
so
wasn't
quick.
lying. So we're quick. We're here. And we have a new segment. It's called Oh Snap.
Oh snap!
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Snaps all around. Terry,
Yeah.
what is Oh Snap?
Oh snap! The way it works. So each person in this studio will pick a random number, and on Snapple's website, we're gonna look up that number and see the fun fact. Are you guys excited? Because I'm
I'm-
excited.
I'm so excited.
Very
You cannot
excited.
pick two numbers.
Okay.
I've decided.
Do I get to pick the first number?
Absolutely.
You can. Be our host.
How exciting. Okay.
Have mercy. What's
Watch
your number, Gab?
yourself. I think I want to pick 114.
114. Why is there no fact? There is no fact for you, Gabby.
What do you mean?
There are no facts that match your search terms.
You're lying.
I'm so
Certain
serious.
numbers.
No.
Pick another one.
What?
I don't know why. Like,
I am
genuinely.
upset. Okay, what about 29?
I think this is broken.
You can't look up the number that way. You have to click through.
Are you kidding?
Are you
You
kidding?
have to randomize it.
Well, I guess we can randomize it as well.
I'm so
my
upset.
Do you want me to
gosh.
randomize your fact?
Fine.
Click. Fact 1,416 mangoes can be sunburned. How do you feel about that?
Really? Because
As a pale person.
Because fact one. Watch yourself.
Silence.
Get beside
I'm
yourself.
personally offended by that.
Because Emily
Oh,
is
I
also.
forgot. I have a
pale.
lot of. I should have probably watched myself. I got a lot of fair toned people.
I have a
around me.
tan line from my head.
I'm a little bit offended because I get sunburnt real easy.
Too easy.
And you know what, Terry?
I, guess-
I hope you get sunburned.
Ugh, never.
You might. Now that you said never, you're gonna get
No,
sunburned.
My tropical booty is
I'm
not built for that.
Calling it now.
Sorry, babes. Put sunscreen on yourself and your mangoes, please.
I didn't know mangoes could
Be
do
safe
that.
though.
I didn't know mangoes could do that.
Neither did
Yeah.
I wonder if they
Did you also know
Who
that
can
mangoes
also
have
get-
noses?
What?
really.
Mangoes have
Really?
noses.
No way. They can smell.
That's what 1415 says because that's up on my screen right now.
I'm gonna look.
Mangoes have noses, apparently. Although, remember,
Oh,
remember,
interesting.
the number one Snapple fact is that not every Snapple fact
It's true.
is true.
Wow, really?
But is that the only lie? Stay tuned.
That's so.
I kind of want to confirm that. Which one? Should
I
I
just
confirm?
googled a sunburnt mango and they just get like brown, so like me.
I need to
Yeah, they
know if
do get
mangoes
tan.
have
The mango's
noses.
tan,
Mangoes.
but the actual
do
like
have
pulp of it
noses.
also tans in a way. But I don't know if
Do
that
mangoes have
is
a
it. I wonder if
nose?
it's safe to eat still. Maybe does it change?
Oh, okay. So the mango's nose is the end, the beak part of the fruit.
I'm gonna randomize.
Mangoes are considered mature when the nose or beak at the end of the fruit opposite to the stem and shoulders of the fruit have filled out. Wow.
Amazing.
I'm so confused, but okay.
I'm gonna randomize another fact.
Yeah, Terry, what do you got?
So, do you want to take this one?
Oh no, I got 2 in the cannon. I
You
got good ones.
All right, hit me with it.
All right, number 69. No word in the English language rhymes with month.
Rhymes with
Month?
month.
Yep. Is that
Really?
the lie? Is that the lie?
Is there a lie?
I'm not
Me
kidding.
Thinking of words that rhyme with month.
What is it?
Month.
No word in the English language
Mm.
rhymes with month.
Yeah, think what word rhymes with month?
Um.
Got y'all stumped.
Month. Month.
Lara's looking it up. Lara, are there any words that rhyme with month?
It's loading.
Ugh. No,
It's
not
low.
ad block.
Grunt. Nope. That doesn't work. There's
No.
no TH at the end of that.
um.
Wow,
I
there's-
don't know.
Um,
Lunch.
No, there really isn't.
Wow,
What?
Snapple didn't lie. Look at that.
Kind of
Wow.
Next time you're playing a party game and you have to rhyme, no longer use orange. Use month.
I think I'm gonna do that.
Use month.
Keep that in mind. Keep that
in mind.
tonight.
Tonight I shall keep that in
Trying to get a
mind.
rapper to make a rap with the word month.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
stop! That would be so
That'd
bad.
be funny. Jimmy Fallon should do that.
Jimmy Fallon. should
Anybody
do
else
that.
got numbers?
Okay,
Gina, what you got?
what you got, Gina?
906. Rubber bands last longer when refrigerated.
That's a fun
What?
That
fact.
kind of makes sense.
Ain't no way. I refuse
I'm
to believe
looking
that
at
one. Rubber
It
band.
expands when it gets colder.
Catch
Does it
me
really
putting
expand
rubber
when it gets
bands in
colder?
my
Yeah.
fridge.
Oh yeah, put all my rubber bands.
Yeah,
in the
because it's
fridge,
like
they
your
can last
tires,
longer.
like the pressure in your tires change with the weather. And
Wait, are you,
that's-
Yeah.
yeah,
not you rationalizing this.
I'm fully
Wow.
serious.
But like, pause.
more fun facts.
Pause and rewind. But if you put a rubber band in the freezer, is it not gonna freeze?
It's rubber. It'll just get cold.
And what about it?
Yeah. And what about?
Um,
I mean, I guess it would freeze if there's like.
You just have to put it in the refrigerator. You don't have to put it. In
And
the
what
Yeah.
about it?
and
And what about it, Emily?
Not
getting aggressive in
FCC
the
approved
studio.
words.
And what about it, Emily?
Lord have mercy. But
Um,
I think it would only freeze if it was wet, right?
Over this segment.
But if it's just cold, then it's just cold.
Emily doesn't like this segment. But that's so weird. Okay, wait.
I
I'm
wanna
going
find
to I'm
one.
going to freeze a rubber band. I've decided.
Can we do it
Noted.
tonight?
They can't.
Can we do it
freeze?
tonight?
Freeze the rubber band.
Can we freeze a
Can you
rubber
spend
band
the night
tonight,
so we
Emily?
can freeze a rubber band?
Fine, I'll stay the night just so we can freeze a rubber band. Yes. Emily and I are hanging out tonight. And we're gonna freeze a rubber
I'm
band.
gonna put one in the freezer and see if it's.
We have to do 2 rubber bands. One that was like
Frozen.
wet, and then one that was
I'm doing
one
it.
that was dry.
An
And we're gonna
entire
freeze.
controlled experiment right now.
This is what
We're-
they taught me in 6th grade science
Yes.
class. I
I'm
have a
doing it.
controlled group and an uncontrolled group.
Yeah.
A and B.
That is
A
what I'm
and
doing
B.
right now. I need to know. Right
Oh,
now.
she's gonna do it as
Oh,
well.
she's, like,
Right now.
We're
literally
gonna get
do
the
it.
answer to you before you
And
get
she's
the answer,
gone.
though. Okay.
I'm gonna say another
Alright.
fun fact. Well,
Okay. What's the next fun fact?
So I kind of.
This should be our last fun fact.
Okay. So a AA battery with no charge remaining will not bounce when dropped. So that's how you know when there's nothing left. In your
Wait,
AA
what?
battery.
And I really waited till my senior
So
remote
if you
stopped
drop
working.
a AA battery and it doesn't bounce, that means there's no like charge in it,
Really?
which is really weird. Honestly, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, well, because it's out of energy. The
Yeah.
energy is how it bounces.
Right.
No,
Oh.
science
Science.
did not just say
Wow.
that.
It's like science.
You did not
Science
just say-
rules.
Science.
Science.
Can
I
we
would
have?
say it
Can
has
I have
more
a
to
thing?
do with like the negative pull
Science.
Earth
Science with,
With
Gabi.
Gabby.
rather than it acting like Tigger and bouncing. However, I like your approach better. Let's just
Science.
move on.
With Gabby.
We are
Science.
college educated women.
I am.
everybody.
Bro,
I
I'm
am
a
in.
TV
I am
major.
in Earth and the environment right now.
in STEM.
Women in.
The reason I'm a CD major. I can't do math. I can't spell.
Yeah.
I
That's the
can't-
only reason I could think why it wouldn't is
Wicked
because it's
be
out
funny,
of energy.
though.
I got jokes.
We are hysterical, as you know. Anyways, I think we're done with Snap.
Yeah,
oh,
we're
Snap
done with
today.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, Snap was kind of fun. I kind of enjoyed it.
I think
How
Yeah,
does
it was
everybody
kinda fun.
feel?
Yeah.
Good?
that was really
Good
fun.
vibes. I love that I'm asking on air. Good vibes? Yeah. Good vibes?
Yeah.
Now our favorite segment of the week.
Absolutely.
Everybody's favorite segment of the week. What's poppin' with Gina?
I'm so
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna make a
I love
song.
that.
Unofficial
I love
jingle.
I'm gonna forget that next week.
You
I
have
don't
to
think
sing
I'm
it. You have to remember. it.
I'll
Next
try and
week it'll
remember
be
it.
like opera.
It's
You
gonna be
sing it
different
every time.
Yeah, it's
You sing
different every
everything
week.
else.
I
Go on.
do sing everything else, but I'm not. What if I don't remember that tune specifically?
All right, fair.
It keeps
What's
everyone on
poppin'
their toes.
with Gina? Okay.
Oh my god, I love that. Okay, we'll get right into it. Okay, so the new updated Coachella lineup is here.
Ayo.
So Swedish House and The Weeknd will replace Kanye West at the Coachella on Sunday night for the 2-weekend festival. They will perform in the festival closing Sunday night slot, joining Harry Styles on Friday, Billie Eilish on Saturday as Coachella's 2022 headliners, taking place on the weekends of April 15th to the 17th. Oh, it's kind of coming up. And April 22nd to the 24th. West was announced as a headliner in January, but pulled out on Monday. And the president and the CEO of Coachella says Coachella has a special relationship with Abel, which is The Weeknd. And I'm so thankful to have this upcoming performance with these iconic artists all on the same stage.
Fabulous. I wish I could go to Coachella
I wish
so I
to
could go see
Coachella.
Harry Styles
It'd be fun.
and Billie Eilish, my wife,
Yeah.
my husband,
Coachella's
and my
on-
wife.
That's a
Husband and my
bucket
wife.
list thing to do,
Amazing.
honestly. Coachella. It seemed
I
like so much
know.
fun, but like a part of me is like,
It-
is it that
I heard
much
it's
fun,
also
or is it,
not
like,
that fun.
Scary.
Yeah,
and,
I'm like, exactly. Is it that fun, or are the Instagram pictures just really good?
The Instagram
I-
pictures are so. I
Yeah,
want to go
yeah.
just for the
Instagram
outfits.
picture.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I want to go just for the outfits,
the outfits,
but also Harry Styles and Billie Eilish.
Yeah. Well, it's so I feel like Coachella itself is so hype. Like you hear so much about. Did they have it last year? I think it was canceled. The last
Probably
two.
I
canceled,
think it
yeah.
got
last 2
canceled. One of the
years.
past 2 years was canceled
Maybe
because
2020.
2020 for
Definitely
sure, and
2020.
2021 I think also might have been canceled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like,
Or it was very
yeah.
exclusive.
I agree.
One of the
I
two.
think they did have Coachella in the desert. Am I tripping? I don't know.
I don't
feel
know.
like they did. 'Cause I remember people like burying. Like,
Maybe.
stuff to sneak in. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh.
I
knows?
forget, but
It's really crazy how much Coachella has grown. Do you guys remember like 2010 type Coachella?
and the only
with-
people who would go were like big celebrities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like Tumblr grunge era. So everyone was wearing gray and
Yes.
purple.
Yes,
yeah, we're talking
grunge.
about Coachella, but in the 2010s.
Oh my god.
And everyone wore grays, purples, and flannels. And
Yeah.
we
yeah.
need to bring it back.
I think
now.
we do need to
Yeah.
bring it back.
Bring back
honestly.
the flannel. Bring back the. I
I
say
don't
as I'm
think the-
literally wearing a
The
flannel.
flannel
right
never
now.
left, I don't think.
I know flannel never left, but grunge era. Okay,
Grunge era was something
there is a
else.
specific outfit that was worn by those who were in the grunge era, but he was kind of like also not grunge. But like if you liked like bands like 5 Seconds of Summer,
Stop.
like you wore this outfit. It's the black and white striped shirt,
Mhm.
the black skinny jeans, a denim jacket, and Converse. Can we bring that back? I love that outfit.
Honestly, I think people would wear that.
I
Maybe sub out the
used to wear that
the
outfit.
shirt differently. I think
Mhm.
also people sub out the denim jacket for flannel often. Back in
Yes.
2010, it was the red flannel.
Yes.
With a 5
Yeah.
seconds of summer shirt. And y'all remember those chokers?
Yes.
Oh, those chokers! Everyone wore those chokers.
I know some
exactly
people
what
who
you're talking
still
about.
wear those chokers, and I ask and I raise this question:
They're kinda-
why?
They're kind
Why?
of itchy. I don't
Because
like
they're
them.
not in style anymore. Like they are so past style anymore, and it makes me kind of. Don't get me wrong, it makes me sad.
If it makes them happy, more power to them.
That's
It'll
true.
honestly probably circle back sometime in the future. They
There's no.
always do. Come on.
Sorry to cut you off,
No,
Terry.
you're fine.
Nathaniel Williams, Jared Tauber, Ben Petrick, all of the above, all of those people who are in charge of our music. Why is there no 5 seconds of summer in our system
At the rock and alternative station.
at the Rock and Alternative Station?
I thought you were gonna tell me there's no rubber bands.
They are in the freezer, by the way.
I am so upset. I literally have a tattoo dedicated to them.
Do you really?
I
Really?
do, in fact, have a tattoo dedicated to them.
To
I know
5
that's kind
seconds
of,
summer.
yeah, I know it's kind of pathetic, but it doesn't say 5 seconds of summer on it, so it's fine.
So it's subtle.
It's very subtle,
Okay.
but it's cool. I love my tattoo. Thank you. I am upset. Nathaniel, if you're listening, you will in fact be getting a text message from me sometime today. I
That's
am so
unfortunate for
upset.
him.
Also, Jared.
Jared.
Come on, Jared. I expected better from you. J-Rad.
They took that.
Anyways,
Gabby took this very personally.
everybody is
Yeah.
like, people who are listening are probably like, who are these people? They are like our student SMT. They're in charge of stuff that goes into our system. I'm very upset.
They keep our station alive.
They do keep our station alive, but also not alive because there's no 5 seconds of summer. So
Got 'em.
I'm very upset. Anyways, Gina, I just completely took over your segment. My
Oh, okay.
apologies. I got very upset real quick.
Well,
You're
I'm about
about
to
to
make
get
you
really
yeah,
happy.
you're about to get really happy. You're
We're
about
talking
to
about.
love
Are we talking
this.
about my girlfriend? We talked about my
Yes.
wife. Now we're talking about my girlfriend.
Mhm.
I know you love JoJo Siwa. So she recently actually ditched her ponytail with a new haircut. So on Wednesday, the actor, singer, and dancer teased her new hair transformation on Instagram. She uploaded a short clip of someone off camera sniffing off a large chunk of her blonde locks. In quotes, may have done something today, she wrote in the caption. Then Siwa revealed to her fans she cropped her hair. She uploaded a picture showing off the front of the pixie haircut. Swia simply captioned the photo, happy. She used the same caption for the video she uploaded to TikTok of her flipping and shaking her hair with a snippet of Ariana Grande singing the line, "You like my hair, gee thanks, just bought it," from her hit song Seven Rings played in the background. The 18-year-old also shared more glimpses of her new look on her Instagram stories.
She's
New JoJo
killing it.
era.
Yeah.
She's so pretty.
Oh, Lord.
Absolutely
Yeah.
stunning.
So pretty. And the hair looks so good.
Gabby's about to go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, you bet.
I love her so much.
I need a doctor in the
And-
studio.
And that is my girlfriend. She did give me $20 on Cash App, and I definitely told this story on air before, so I'm not gonna do it again. But I love JoJo
Do you know
Siwa.
I met JoJo Siwa?
What?
Yeah,
When?
at the Rock. Like,
Gina Morelli.
Holy.
Why have you never told me this information before?
Because it was like in my local mall. She was doing a meet and greet.
And you never told me this information.
And I met her, and she was nice. I remember her mom being really nice. Like I filmed it on a GoPro. Me meeting her. Wow, I don't
Hey,
know why I used a
vlog.
GoPro.
So you have,
I have like
it
video. of me-
filmed,
Yes.
and yet
And I have a
this is
photo.
the first time.
I know. I don't know why I haven't told. I thought I told you, but
No.
I guess I didn't.
And this is
when
the
we
first
met.
time I'm hearing of it.
Yes.
So you've met my girlfriend before I met my
Yes, like a
girlfriend.
wa-
Gabby's
like
blushing
2000,
and
like
also so
14.
mad.
We are long
15.
distance, me and JoJo.
Long distance.
She actually does have a girlfriend again. Her ex is now her girly poo pie
Did you-
again.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah, they're back.
and they are back and better than ever. Her and Kylie. So cute.
You sound
Kylie's
so excited.
Kylie's really pretty as well.
Kylie is
Yeah.
really pretty.
Killer couple.
They are fantastic.
I hope they're
I
doing well.
I
Really
love
hope
them
it is.
both.
Mhm.
We are in an open relationship.
Oh,
You know what?
Gabby,
We all-
Gabby.
We
You and JoJo.
I'm sorry.
Siwa.
Me and JoJo Siwa are
Behold, this
dating, but she's
woman has
also
a
dating Kylie, and I'm okay with it because it's Kylie.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Everybody's like, what is going on?
Everyone's like,
You know what?
someone
I'm-
help her.
I'm sad that JoJo Siwa not gonna have her signature ponytail anymore.
I thought about that for a second.
No, but like,
But then I
It's a
thought
good
a new
era for
era.
her. It's like good for her.
it's not even the era. It's more like you see how much of a following she has,
Yeah.
and like, not like, it'll give people like who are afraid to like come out of the closet or like to cut
Yeah.
their
Yes,
hair.
that's
Mhm.
such
The
a good
reason
point.
to do it, like the
Exactly.
inspiration, like to not care. Like if a celebrity like her is going out of her way to like cut her hair in such a fashion,
Mhm.
like it's
Mhm.
just the extra push someone needs.
Especially
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
young kids.
Yes.
especially
Yeah,
for
Who
the
want
young
to
generation.
express
Huge
themselves but are
love.
terrified.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's such a huge, honestly, huge step.
I
with
love
her being,
JoJo.
she's such a good role model for
I
children,
know.
Absolutely.
honestly.
I love JoJo for more than just her looks because of the fact that she's a good role model. Like that's a
But-
big part of
But
it.
the looks.
But she's so pretty.
But-
She's
but
so pretty.
women-
But women with
Women-
sparkles around it.
Can we go
women.
to women? Can we
Women.
go to break?
So women. And that is where I'm going to end this.
Lord have mercy.
And that is where I'm gonna
Go
end
to
this for
break.
now. We're gonna catch you in the next hour here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. What?
so into you, I can barely breathe.
literally going to add it to sports.
And we are back here on 90.3 WMSD Upper Montclair, and you are listening to the Morning Buzz. Yay! I'm your co-host, Terry Dickerson. I did say yay, not yay.
I mean,
Yay for both. I'm joined here by my host, Gabi Lutz, our segment host, Gina Morelli, and our sportscaster, Emily Struble.
but who are you?
But I'm the co-host, Terry Dickerson.
She said that.
I did say that, but
Did
I'm going
she?
to say it again
Sorry, I
because
didn't hear it. Where are you?
I'm in the chair that Gabi normally sits in. So hi, Facebook.
Crazy.
You see me in a different
Hi,
spot.
Facebook. You're seeing me in a different spot too.
And if you don't remember, I am taking my ADJ training right now. So this is really exciting and really horrifying at the same time. So
I'm
bear
gonna
with
sit
me.
here.
I got a question.
What?
When you take over the chair, do you just start singing? Like, is that a thing? Because she was doing it for a hot second there. Like, it's just
Did
like,
I really sing?
Okay,
for
so
a
here's
hot
what I do.
second.
Have I been possessed by
half a
Gabi?
beat? Half a beat. You did
She
it.
is my co-host, so she does in fact have to take over the singing abilities, or it does not
I
happen.
just thought it was funny.
Here, okay, so here's why. Okay, can I explain why I sing real
Yes.
quick? I sing one because I actually have been a singer in my entire life, which is not why, like, that is not how I sound when I sing normally, but also because when I like panic slightly, I sing because it just like if I'm singing and I mess up, it's just like, oh, she was just singing.
It's better
Yeah.
than
But
screaming.
if I'm saying and I mess up, then I'm like, everybody's like, it's very obvious I messed up. So sometimes if I know, if I feel like I'm gonna mess up, I sing.
Because then you can draw out a note and you can think
Yeah,
about what you're gonna
like the first time we had
say.
Amanda on air, which she's not here today, if you guys did not realize.
We miss you.
We hope she feel better. She's a little sicky. But the first time we had Amanda on air, I was like, I had to sing because I was afraid I was going to mess up her name. So I was
That's
like,
true.
Amanda, get you see, just so I wouldn't mess it up.
I'm gonna sing my sportscast.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think it's a
I
great
mean,
time.
if you want to,
sing.
And I
I'll
think
sing my
everybody
newscast.
should be Gabi for Battle of the Buzz. Battle of the Buzz is next week, by the way. Or the next week after that. It's in 2 weeks.
It's really exciting.
So you should
Let's
be tuning
go.
into Friday and not the other days because Gabby is trying to get all the votes.
Absolutely. We're all trying to get all the
We're all
votes
trying to get the best votes.
because we are the best buzz.
And that will be determined in Battle of the Buzz.
Dun, dun,
I'm
dun.
biased, but
Yeah, Lara is in fact biased,
Friday's the best.
even though she hosts Thursdays, but that's besides the point.
It's okay.
I'm
But-
taking over again. You take over again.
On that note, I'm going to give everyone a news update. So, in international news, Russia has been suspended from the United Nations Human Rights Council after a vote amongst General Assembly members. The vote needed a 2/3 majority of the vote in order to pass. The final tally was 93 in favor, 24 against, and 58 abstentions, saying that thousands of civilians in Bucha and other Ukrainian towns have been killed, tortured, raped, and robbed by Russia's military. Ukraine's UN ambassador Sergei Kostyltsa said the reasons for suspending Russia are, quote, obvious and self-explanatory, end quote. Despite the increasing death toll, Russia has denied partaking in any harming or murdering of any civilians. In national news, in Washington, D.C., 2 men have been arrested and charged with falsely impersonating a federal officer after the two pretended to be special agents with the Department of Homeland Security. Since February 2020, Arian Taserda and Haider Ali have been impersonating federal agents in order to get close with several Secret Service agents assigned to the White House and another to the First Lady's protection by offering favors. 4 Secret Service members in connection with the 2 men have been placed on administrative leave. In local news, journalist Eric Boehlert, founder and editor of Press Run, was killed by a New Jersey Transit train near the Watchung Avenue station on Monday night. The Montclair Boonton line struck and killed him while he was biking that evening. In his career, Boehlert has had a frequent presence as a guest on CNN and CNBC discussing politics. Many have expressed their condolences on the matter through social media, with Hillary Clinton tweeting, quote, I'm devastated for his family and friends and will miss his critical work, end quote. The weather for today is currently clear and 47 degrees with a high of 61 degrees and a low of 46 degrees. On Saturday, it's going to be rainy with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 43 degrees. Sunday, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 51 degrees and a low of 38 degrees. Monday, still cloudy with a high of 61 degrees and a low of 37 degrees. Tuesday, a high of 75 degrees and a low of 47 degrees. Wednesday, a high of 68 degrees and a low of 52 degrees. And Thursday, a high of 67 degrees and a low of 52 degrees. So it's going to get a little warmer, slowly but surely. But that is all from the news update today.
Yay, weather!
Yay, weather! It's still going to be cloudy, but
Yes.
it's better than being cold and rainy.
I'm
So
stretching.
I'll take it. But Emily, do you want to give us our sports update?
Absolutely. All right. Last night in the MLB, they had their long-awaited opening day. Cubs shortstop Nico Horner hit the first home run for the MLB season. His team went on to win 5-4 over the Brewers. The Mets took down the Nationals last night, and the Yankees are set to take on the Red Sox today at 1. On the green, Tiger Woods golf star made a huge return. Just 13 and a half months ago, Woods was in a car crash with leg injury so severe that doctors considered amputation. Yesterday, he made an unbelievable and shocking return to the Masters. At the 18th hole, he was applauded for his finish on the day with 1 under par 71 with 3 birdies and 2 bogeys. Moving on to hockey, despite outshooting the Canadiens 37-26, the Devils fell short, losing 7-4. The Toronto Maple Leafs superstar Austin Matthews made history twice last night with his 55th and 56th goal of the season. These goals broke the Toronto single-season scoring record and set the record for the most goals by a U.S.-born player in the season. His 2 goals helped his team pull off a 4-3 victory over Dallas. On the hardwood, the 79ers fell short to the Raptors, 119 to 114, and the Warriors beat the Lakers 128 to 112. Here in Montclair, the women's lacrosse team will look to keep their 3-game winning streak alive as they face off against TC and Jada Merwin with 3:30. The baseball team has a doubleheader against Rowan on Saturday at 11:30 and 2:30. That's all I got for sports.
Sports.
Oh, that was in
Sports.
sync.
That
this
was in
time.
sync.
That was
Wow, Terry, look at
nice.
us go. Can I
Wow.
just say,
Mhm.
Terry's laptop, when I scroll on my laptop, if I go up, it goes like down, and yours, like I have to go down for it to go down.
That's
What?
why I made it like that actually, because I hated that other
Why?
function. Just
No.
because I understand it's kind of like pulling the page down or pulling the page in one way or another, but I just like up, down. I just think
Because I do, because when I think about like scrolling down, I think about like when I'm on my phone and I'm swiping down.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do that on my laptop, it makes sense. But the way I have to like,
Yeah, did you switch your TikTok feed too? So like you have to swipe up?
is that a thing? I don't think you can do that.
I didn't know you could do that. To switch.
I didn't know you could do that either.
Wait, what do you mean?
You know, when you scroll through your For You page, you have to swipe.
Yeah,
Up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you
Yeah.
switch that too or no?
it changes the whole thing on my phone. Everything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
I don't. Can I see your phone? I know that might sound invasive,
No, like, for sure.
but I'm
That's
just,
insane.
but I'm just curious because it's like, how?
Wow.
Here's a TikTok
Okay,
for you. And
okay,
we're
okay.
reaching and we're reaching and we
Okay, I'm
got it.
reaching, and I got it. Okay.
So you
hold on.
swipe up to go on
Okay.
TikTok?
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
know-
you swipe up. No, you swipe
Yeah.
up, but your laptop is different. I have to swipe down to actually
Go-
go.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know if that was.
No, it
confusing.
wasn't clicking for me, but now it did.
Yeah, it's like weird.
But
Australian scrolling.
it's like
I don't know if that's a
clockwork for
thing,
me,
but-
honestly.
My bad.
It's just weird to me. But anyways,
Anyways, we can get
Continuing
into
on.
some more weird things.
I keep having separate thoughts. I'm sorry.
It's fine. We can get into more thoughts with "Am I in the Wrong?" if you're in the mood.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Our
Yes.
second favorite segment. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay. What's up, Gabby? She turned from little garbage.
You
to
really
little
just said
pepper.
it is the second hour.
So I'm scared.
And I'm
Abby.
Emily.
Is Gabby in the wrong for doing that? I
I say no.
Majority rule says yes.
I say no.
On that note, listeners, join in as we deep dive into the world of Reddit and messy situations. And a quick disclaimer, these are not our personal experiences, not our stories at all. These are stories from the users of Reddit. So please don't think we're weirdos. I mean, you can because we are.
I'm
But
definitely a weirdo. I'm weird.
I think we're
Weirdo.
that we knew.
You see this hat?
Have you ever seen me with that
Stupid hat?
It's
Weird.
I can't, Riverdale. Anyways, so I'm gonna start us off. Am I in the wrong for screenshotting messages guys sent me and sending them to their mothers?
Period.
Ooh, okay, girl boss moment.
Girlfriend.
So I am 18 years old, who is in college at the moment. I've been getting bullied / harassed by 3 guys in my class who have taken to messaging me online with rather gross and harassing messages and not safe for work pictures that I'm sure you can fill in the gaps without me going into detail. I should have reported them or blocked them, but I just had enough. So I screenshot every message they'd send me and found their mothers through their Facebook pages and sent screenshots to them, including an explanation of who I am and how their sons have been bothering me. Their mothers were horrified and shocked by what I sent them, explaining that what was going on, and all 3 are on my side. Some of my friends think that this is genius and exactly what they deserved, but my other friends think I took it too far and it was out of line to put that on their mothers, and also how I don't know what their home life is like. Am I in the wrong for doing this? Should I have gone about it another way? Edit, due to questions / comments, when it was just standard bullying, I reported them, but they only got a warning. The message / pictures started after that, so as if to prove I couldn't do anything. I figured reporting them again wouldn't work, so I did this.
So here's the dealio.
Tell us, Gabby.
So here's the dealio. Getting comfortable. Oh, that didn't work. Anyways, the issue is that I wouldn't have sent the actual pictures to the moms unless they asked for said proof. But I would have contacted the mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Also, you don't know what their home life is like. That excuse only goes so far.
You don't know if they
Yeah, you
actually
don't
talk
know.
to their mom. That's what I think. Like, do they actually live under the same roof? Do they talk?
I don't
to their
know,
mom?
but
That's
I
true.
guess it doesn't
You know what I
matter.
mean? Like,
Mama Bear knows, which is enough
Eh.
to be like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
You know? But like, you don't know what their home life is like is such a bad excuse. I'm sorry. You should not
Yeah.
be sending
Because then that
those
justifies
things.
the bullying in general, and I
Yeah.
don't think that's
Yeah.
very fair. Because if that's the case, they don't know what the home life of this girl and what
Is
she's
like
been
as
through
well.
is like either. So that's
Yeah.
not very fair to make.
Also, yeah, just you shouldn't be doing that anyways.
Exactly.
So sorry, that excuse don't fly with me.
Yeah, it's valid. Maybe they don't have the best home life and et cetera, et cetera. But now these guys know not to mess with her again
Mhm.
Yeah.
and to leave her alone.
unpopular
Because
opinion seems. I feel like she is in the wrong
Okay.
really,
Mm.
because at this point, if a guy's acting like this, I feel like the mom has no control in the situation. So realistically, what is she gonna do? Oh,
I
can
don't
you
know.
stop
If my
sending?
mom heard, she would go.
I don't know.
off.
I
Yeah,
feel like
oh,
these
go
sound
off.
like, oh, I'm gonna tell my dad, or like I have daddy's money. That's the vibe I'm getting from these guys. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's gonna stop them. I feel like a quick little block, telling the school once, twice more, and then just like disassociating from them completely. And if it gets worse, it seems like it's a completely virtual thing. I don't
Mhm.
know like what would happen in person like this, like maybe, but like I don't know. I feel like at the point they're at, I don't feel like the mom could do much to step in. Not to say that like she's in the wrong, but like I don't know how much the mom can help in the situation.
I get what you're saying. I
That's
just
a
know
fair
that certain
point.
moms, like I said, my mom,
No, I got you.
she would,
Yeah.
and Beth will probably text me and confirm if she's listening. She would 100% obliterate my brother.
Yeah.
I also think it's more so of like you come after me, I'll come after you. Even if they don't have a relationship with
Mhm.
their mother, I think it's also like, oh, you went into my personal business and started harassing me, which is like, now that I'm saying it, it's kind of like an eye for an eye situation, and
Mhm.
maybe that isn't the best way to go about things.
Can't fight fire with fire, but also like
Gives me,
I'm
like,
an
also-
Aries.
I see
so-
where she's
But also you
coming.
gotta put a little fire.
I see
Yeah.
where she's coming from in the sense of she used what they did to her to stand up for herself and
Yeah.
show them like
that
these
what you
are
did
what
was
your kids are
wrong.
doing and
Mhm.
what they're doing is wrong. Had she also just blocked them, maybe that could have just added like an extra like, okay, I'm done with this situation. She probably
sure.
did. I hope she did.
She better have.
She better have, because I wouldn't be able to tolerate that
Ah.
any longer.
Beth texted me.
Right
and
on time.
she said you got that right.
Oh.
Thanks, Mom, for confirming.
Thanks,
See, I
Mom.
know my mother so well.
This whole story just gives me like Euphoria vibes.
This is very much something that would happen on Euphoria.
Nate Jacobs,
Oh,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Nate Jacobs.
awful
know.
human being.
honestly, it wouldn't be his mom. It would be the police.
Exactly.
But get into
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Get into it. So what are we? What's the vote for everybody separately? Because we're
Reddit-
not all in agreement today.
Now that we've talked about it, I'm a little stuck.
Stir the pot.
Stir the pot.
I'm still not. I feel like she's not in the wrong.
I feel like it could have been done a little bit differently, but if she had done it that little bit differently, she wouldn't be in the wrong.
Yeah.
I think without the pictures, it would have been good.
Oh yeah. I think so too.
Yeah. I think I agree. I don't think she's completely in the wrong. I think she, it
Yeah.
could have been
It's
different.
on the
A
fence.
little
on the fence.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the fence. It's
It's
on the fence. Reddit
That's like
thinks
the first
that
on the fence.
What?
No,
That's
I
like the
think there was
first on the
another Red.
fence.
There was another on the fence one. I
We've
think
had
a
on
while
the
we
back.
have?
fences before.
Yeah,
Usually, there's been like one or two.
just a couple. But Reddit also thinks that this person is not in the wrong heart. So that at least that person has support and hopefully is doing better.
Yeah.
Men aren't the greatest all the time. So,
You mean
Hopefully that
all the time?
yeah,
Never.
so-
Okay. Anyways,
hopefully that situation pans out and they don't bother her anymore.
yeah,
So
true that.
Gabby, do you want to hit the next one?
Yeah. Am I in the wrong for letting my fiance fend for himself after he constantly compared me to his mom? My fiance had a heart attack and required an open heart surgery 2 weeks ago. He just got home a few days ago and I am caring for him. A little backstory. His mom and I don't have a good relationship. Since the beginning of my relationship with my fiance, his mom would constantly try to compete with me and one-up me on everything. She always claimed she should be the first woman in my fiance's life because she birthed and raised him, and how I can't break their bond. For the most part, these comments were unprovoked, and at first I would be too scared to defend myself. But later I stood up for myself, and my fiance stood up for me and established some boundaries with his mom. His mom sometimes crosses some of those boundaries, but for the most part, she's been acting a bit better. During his stay in the hospital, his mom and I took turns staying with him. Ever since we got home, I am the one caring for him 24/7. And I don't mind, I love him and I want him to get better. But I got extremely upset because after we got home, he was being ungrateful about everything. He started comparing me to his mom. He started saying his mom would do this thing better and why I can't do it like his mom since that's how he likes it. He gives backhanded compliments to the foods I make and says, quote, "It's good, but not like my mom's," end quote. He sometimes also snaps at me because I won't do something quick enough or properly enough. And he will say something like, quote, "I wish my mom was here. She wouldn't be so useless. Just tell her to come here if you can't do these basic tasks," end quote. I was patient with him because I didn't want to upset him during his recovery. What made me lose my mind and leave the house was when he told me that his mom was probably right when she said she should be the first woman in his life, since she'd care about him better than I do. How it was a mistake establishing boundaries with her and should have established boundaries with me instead. After this comment, I didn't think twice. I just packed two clothes in my handbag and left and went to stay at my cousin's house. He called me and said I'm an not safe FCC, for leaving him home alone while he's recovering, and that I should have at least called his mom first so she'd come. I told him he should call her and it's none of my business anymore. My parents told me I was out of line leaving him to fend for himself, and that he's right that I should have called his mom first, and how I'm the not FCC safe word for making this about me when my fiance's recovery should be my priority. No. Sorry. No. I'm so sorry to say this to this poor poster and to that stupid fiance, but here's the whole thing. It's not her fiance anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And if it is,
Good luck.
She's dumb.
Yeah.
Because sorry, no, that's not my priority. If you're talking to me like that and we're supposed to get married, I've been told numerous times when you get married, you're a team and your partner becomes your number one. Your parents become number two.
Yeah.
That's it. And the fact that you are going to get married to this man and he's talking to you like that, I'm sorry. And you can maybe feel that way, that maybe your mom was doing a better job, but she's taking care of you.
Yeah.
And now you want to say, you should have called my mom. Call your mom yourself, since you love her so much and you want her to be your fiance.
Gabi.
Apparently.
Gabi.
Yeah.
Call her yourself. You got two hands and a mouth and a phone.
She's mad.
That's it. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, and I understand wanting your mom to help you, and I get that part, but the way that he talked to his fiance, I wouldn't have done very nice things.
Absolutely.
And her walking out.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, if it was me in that situation, he would have gotten more than just me walking out. I would have ruined his life. That's for sure. Anyways, the poster's not in the wrong, and that's it.
Done. We're not. I'm kidding. Like, honestly, I could have said it better myself.
Yeah, that was
honestly
actually
that kind of.
Sorry, that just really frustrated me.
Because
no, that was everything everyone was thinking.
He called her useless in his time of need, and you're gonna ask for help? I'm so tired of men thinking that their significant others should be their mothers.
Yeah.
What is this about?
What is that about?
I don't understand.
And Beth has said, as a mother, she has said, if I've done it, then they don't appreciate it, then blank them. Caring for someone like that is very stressful and time consuming. You are correct, Beth. Precisely.
Tell him, Beth.
Wow.
Tell him, Beth.
Beth on the air.
I know Beth should just come on
interview next week?
our interview next week. Gabby's mom.
But like, absolutely, it's just frustrating because I don't understand where this narrative comes from. I think it's because a lot of times parents don't teach their sons how to do anything for themselves.
Yeah, they get babied a lot.
They get babied. They're always the favorite. They're like, oh, like he can't do that. Like he's the boy and yada, yada, yada. I'm tired of the gender roles. Teach your son how to fend for himself. Teach him how to defend himself. Teach him how to stick up for his
Yeah,
fiance.
Teach him how to treat his fiance. Like,
Exactly. Your
seriously.
fiance should not have to be your mother. And the fact that he's sitting there saying, "Oh, I should have set boundaries with you and not my mom."
That's the second
Ugh.
I would have
Mm-hmm.
bop, bop,
Yeah.
bop, and out the door.
And I'll set a boundary between me and you because we're done. Like, what is that?
Here's the boundary. You're blocked. Bye.
Exactly.
Here's the ring back. Have
I
it. Actually,
know.
I'm keeping the ring. I'm keeping the ring.
You're gonna
See,
sell
I'm
it.
gonna make it into a nice little piece of jewelry,
Oh yeah.
and I'm gonna wear it around my neck,
Lord.
and you're never gonna see it again. That thousands of dollars you spent down the drain.
Yeah,
Mine.
something else. Yeah.
The fire is real today, guys.
I can see steam coming out of your headphones.
My air it is every season. My birthday's in like a week.
Happy birthday!
Did the Red Bull
Hey.
finally hit you?
I think the Red Bull hit.
Yeah.
I had a Red
Can
Bull
tell.
earlier, guys.
But the energy.
Thanks.
Reddit also thinks that this poster is not in the wrong.
They better.
Rightfully so, because I hope Miss Girl's doing better.
I did not
Yeah.
even ask for your guys' opinions. I'm like, nope, nope.
Up and close.
Sorry,
But-
you didn't get to give any counter
I
argument.
couldn't stir the pot this time. I'm kidding. I don't want to stir the pot.
Emily doesn't want to start a fight with this
No
one.
pot. No
It's-
stirring.
It's
Wow.
fine because we can throw it to Gina because we have another entertainment story. Gina, do you want to take it?
Gina.
Sure. So
Queen.
Will Smith admitted to a luxury rehab clinic after slapping Chris Rock.
Goodbye. My
No,
sunglasses are
God.
going back on.
Wait, luxury? Okay. After the attack on Chris Rock at the
The attack. Hold on. The
the
attack.
the attack.
Goodbye.
Sound like he was a
I'm
raccoon or
leaving the
something.
studio today.
Will Smith will seek expert help to deal with the stress at a celebrity rehab clinic. We all know the dealio. The American actor was the star of the Academy Awards night when he slapped the comedian after he made a joke about the shaved hair of the actor's wife, Jaden Pinkett Smith, who suffers from alopecia. This moment had such repercussions that, as he reported by the British newspaper, in quotes, the Sun, the artist, will spend more time in the rehab clinic, saying, quote, the impact of the backlash has hit Will hard, so he will be getting help on dealing with stress. I'm going to continue, quote, this is unquestionable the battle of his career. It will be a high-end retreat used by the rich and the famous, and he will be doing a lot of soul searching and working on how he can move forward. Will Smith hopes, according to the newspaper source, to return to the time to save his career and his reputation. He recalls that after the official apology, the actor has already been dismissed from the Academy of Motion Picture Oscars after the assault. Will Smith said in a statement, I resigned my membership in the Academy of the Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and will accept any other consequences that my management deems appropriate.
So
End
wait, does that
quote.
mean that he lost all of his awards he won that night, or is he just not allowed to win anymore?
I guess he's just not allowed to win anymore.
Because he won Actor
Yeah.
of the Year. didn't he?
Yeah.
He no, like
did,
literally,
actor.
he slapped Chris Rock, went off stage, got upset, came back
Said some
15
mean
minutes
words.
15
later,
minutes later, got
and
an
then
award.
won Best Actor of the Year.
Probably the biggest
Imagine.
thing you could get.
Imagine doing that and then getting literally the
The
biggest
biggest
thing you could ever get.
As like an
That is-
individual, it's not like
Also-
a film of the year. He got
Also,
Best
what was he
Actor.
Yeah,
acting
Best
in this
Actor.
year?
I don't
It
know.
was Serena Williams. He portrayed the father in the film, which is very weird. It's like an empowerment film for the two women, but the actor in the film took the award.
So hear me
Oh,
out.
okay, no,
So
sure.
hear me out. Why did Andrew Garfield not win?
Oh,
Stop,
yeah.
tick tick boom,
Oh my god.
Tick tick boom.
tick tick boom.
Spider-Man.
killed it.
The whole thing. It's been Andrew Garfield's year. Okay, so
Make it a
if
comeback. Make it a
Andrew
comeback.
Garfield doesn't win like within this next year, because like technically it was
Yeah,
it was
it's still, like-
2022, whatever.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win next year, this year, whatever, I'm gonna be upset
Me too.
Yeah.
because I didn't even know Will Smith was in a movie. This,
Yeah,
this
no.
past
No,
year.
I didn't even know he
saw
was
Will Smith,
nominated.
and I was like, what did he get nominated for? I watched the trailer for it.
Yeah,
He's just playing like he's playing a coach. It's a trainer.
and he won
Bro,
Best
how do you
Actor of the
win?
Year. How are you good in
I-
one movie
I
that's
mean-
supposed to be about women, and then you win
And
Best
you-
Actor of
Don't
the
quote
Year?
me on it. I don't know what exactly like he went through. I didn't really watch the
No,
film, but like
still.
I really thought
yeah.
it was an empowerment film, like telling the story of the tennis players, not the coach.
Yeah, I
And
don't think it was. I
here-
don't think he was like a main.
and
he was
here we
probably in it,
are.
but I don't think he
I'm
was a
gonna
main
pull it
character.
up.
No offense, Will Smith.
And now
But
he's going
all
to
offense,
there's a
actually.
luxury rehab. There's like a celebrity rehab.
Of course,
just for
there's a celebrity rehab.
yeah,
Where do you
probably-
think Lindsay Lohan went?
Oh yeah, probably. And like Scott.
I'm sorry,
Disick probably
Lohan.
all went there.
Lindsay Lohan.
What do they do? I wonder what they like have.
It's
them
just,
do
it's
there.
just, it's probably like a normal rehab clinic. It's just like for fancy people, you know,
Oh.
like instead of having like just like a high school lunch kind of lunch, like they have like steak, you know.
They like steak, lobster, all like the
Exactly.
good
That's
stuff.
probably what it is.
Do they get grippy socks?
Grippy socks
I
and smiley
just-
face.
they probably get really fancy like Gucci grippy socks.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
Gucci socks.
I'm just
Gucci flip flops. Anyways,
We can't finish that lyric.
I
but
Will is okay because
you know what? I don't.
Yeah,
this is
And
a
here's
lot.
my thing is that the whole situation is problematic.
yeah.
But how are you, a comedian, going to come after another comedian for a joke?
I know it was a joke.
Comedians are offensive people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard
Like they
people
just
say
say
worse
offensive
stuff.
things. But
People say-
anyways,
that's true. But on that note, we're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, we have some quirky, not like the other girls' stories. And
yes.
as if we haven't had enough quirky, not like the other girls' stories. So stay tuned. We can find the mouse.
You got the mouse.
I got it. Okay, bye.
dare you turn off
3
Wonderwall.
WMSC.
Turned it
Up
off.
Brook Montclair. I'm so
Terry
sorry.
has the spotlight.
No counting.
Terry-
No like warning. Just
Terry
Lifeline.
turned off Wonderwall.
I did turn off one.
I was singing to
I let
Emily.
the chorus play.
I was
Ah.
serenading Emily.
she was serenading me. I was looking.
We were looking
We
deeply
have-
into each other's
finishing it.
souls.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about the quirky, not like the other girls' stories, obviously.
Before we do it, Emily wants to correct herself.
I'm so sorry. The film was about. It's called King Richard. It's about how the father got the two tennis players to be such great players. However, I feel like they should have their own film, and
should.
it should win an Academy Award.
You are correct.
Kind of upset about that. Anyway, let's proceed.
Thank you for the clarification.
We have to correct
Thank you
ourselves.
for the clarification.
Tennis.
Tennis, sports,
Tennis.
Emily.
Sports.
On that
I'm
note,
done for the day.
Gabby.
Hi,
Mushrooms?
mushrooms. So hear me out. I can't believe this is a real story.
Wait,
I
mushrooms?
refuse to believe this is a real story.
Did we make up
Like,
headlines
what?
again?
I feel like this is a made up headline. This mushrooms. Yes, the story is about mushrooms. Communicate with each other using up to 50 words. Science claims this.
What?
Apparently.
What are their
Explain.
words?
Explain.
It's dark in here.
Wow, the grass is really green today. Mathematical analysis of the electrical signals fungi seemingly send to one another with identified patterns that bear a striking structural similarity to human speech. Previous research has suggested that fungi conduct electrical impulses through long underground filamentous structures called hyphae, similar to how nerve cells transmit information in humans. It is even shown in the firing rate of these impulses increases when the hyphae of wood-digesting fungi come into contact with wooden blocks. This raises the possibility that fungi use electrical language to share information about food or injury with distant parts of themselves, or with hyphae-connected partners such as trees. A professor at University of the West England's Unconventional Computing Laboratory said, quote, "We do not know if there is a direct relationship between spiking patterns in fungi and human speech. Possibly not. On the other hand, there are many similarities in information processing in living substrates of different classes, families, and species," end quote. He also added, quote, "There is also another option. They are saying nothing. Propagating mycelium, I don't know how to say that.
Mycelium, yeah.
Mycelium tips are electrically charged, and therefore, when the charged tips pass in a pair of differential electrodes, a spike in a potential difference is recorded," end quote. That's a lot of science words. Also, does that mean that
Dang.
does that mean vegans can't eat mushrooms now?
Okay.
The silence that echoed through this room.
I really want to know who sat down in an office and said,
Do
"Yo,
mushrooms
I wonder if mushrooms can speak," and then followed it up with, "Yo, can apples speak?" Like, how many of their vegetables or plants were researched on until they found mushrooms?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so probably the thought process was a shower thought, probably.
Yeah.
And the shower thought was probably, we call them fungi. So are they actually fun guys?
Please, God.
Like, do they party? Do they talk to each other? Do they party? Do they talk to each other? Like, I need to know. And then they decided to get scientists on it.
Okay, and then my follow-up question would be,
Okay.
my follow-up
Put it back in.
question would be, who funded, who saw, oh, can mushrooms talk to each other? I'm putting money down. I'm putting $1 million down on the research.
I am
funded
so
this?
glad that STEM research is utilizing their time and
You know, this was men in
resources.
STEM too. This was not women in STEM. This was men in
Yo,
STEM.
girl, what about the mushrooms though?
fun guys, bro. I swear.
The fun guys. They're frat guys. They're
Frat guys.
Yeah.
Are mushrooms frat guys? Question
Will
mark.
we
Have we
ever
spiraled?
know?
We have spiraled, I think. But honestly, are mushrooms frat guys? That is the question of the week.
I guess that's a question for
I'm
the
gonna put that on a sticky note in my door.
Please, please, can we have a specific color just for me? Are mushrooms frat guys?
This is a lot.
I'm gonna keep asking until somebody answers me. Are
No,
mushrooms
yes,
frat
no,
guys?
yes.
no.
Thank you,
I think
Gina.
they are.
Gina agrees. They are frat guys.
I don't think so. Mushrooms are cute.
I have so
They're
many
frat
questions.
guys.
No, the
I'm just
frat guys
imagining
aren't
that-
cute
What if they're a gay frat guy? Does that make them cute in some kind of way?
in some way, but maybe they're a specific type of mushroom. But all frat guys are not mushrooms.
That's
Some
what I was
frat
gonna
guys are
say.
so-
In terms of
because
frat guys,
visually-
Some frat guys are so stupid they're adorable.
No.
Very few and far between.
I know, but they're the few and far
No.
between ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gabby, I love you, but no.
yeah. I feel like that would just be
Lara,
like,
I love you too, but yes.
I think they're just himbos in general. You know, that's like the-
Himbos, exactly. Are mushrooms himbos?
I'm just imagining
but not
like
all
a
himbos
mushroom.
are frat guys. Just
No,
like,
but there are a lot of himbos that are frat guys.
I'm just imagining
so
a
true.
mushroom dressed up with a hat.
With
and,
the
like,
hat,
a,
like the hat,
like
Oh,
a basketball
it's a chain.
jersey.
Yeah,
Like
yep.
standing in front of the door,
Wearing their
like you want to come
Jordans.
in, like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're not a you're a 5
not
out
on
of
the
10 on the
list.
scale, so you gotta
my
go.
God,
you're not on the list.
You're
You're
kind
on
of
the list.
mid,
Who
so
you know? Can you come? No.
If you're
Uh,
a dude, you gotta pay to get in. Sorry.
Yeah.
What did she? Okay.
She fixed
Lara,
it.
Lara's gonna say
I
something.
accidentally closed B-bar on Next Gen, and I had to go back.
Not that
AD
anybody of you know what that
No,
is.
okay, well,
I don't even know what that
It's
is.
a
Exactly.
little tab thingy, so it has all of our sound effects and CBBS and everything all in little easy access for those things. And I accidentally closed it, and I had to go back in the ADG videos that Josh made, our former station manager, and I had to look up how to fix it.
But you
Goodbye.
fixed it.
She
Yeah.
is our new engineer. Woo.
Lara's the new engineer.
Okay, so in conclusion, fun
Mushrooms.
guys are
This conversation
frat
has
guys,
like changed my view of mushrooms. Oof.
and
indeed.
frat guys. Okay,
On that note,
Scientifically possible.
it is scientifically possible, actually.
evidently.
Just-
spiraled this far.
We've
On
just
that-
spiraled. On that note,
On that note,
I hate that sound effect. You know I hate that sound effect. How dare you, Lara? I hate that sound effect.
Gabby's going nuts today in the studio.
Bonkers.
Bonkers. But this next story is for our metamates and metamites out there. Hey, Facebook land. This one's
Hi,
for you.
Metamates.
Hey, metamites.
Metamites.
So, Mark Zuckerberg says his Meta employees, also known as metamates, quote, lovingly refer to him as the quote, the Eye of Sauron. How do we feel about this?
What?
so
First of all,
far?
what does that mean?
I-
Second of all,
I don't know.
why?
We're gonna find out what it means. So on the Tim Ferriss show, he shared a particularly eyebrow-raising label given to him by his own employees, the Eye of Sauron. For those who haven't traveled to Middle Earth in a couple of ages, the Eye of Sauron is a manifestation of the titular Lord of the Rings. Without delving too deeply into the fantasy lore and the Oh no, Gab. Please, Lara, no.
No.
Do you guys want to hear about the 5 minutes of
No,
Freddy's
no,
time?
no.
taking the mic.
Goodbye.
No FNAF lore.
I wish we could.
Let's not.
I'm just kidding, kind of.
Let us not.
So, without again diving too deep into Lord of the Rings lore and etc., bad things happen when the Eye of Sauron notices you. So, Lara translated how Zuckerberg felt, and he feels that he has the attention span of a golden retriever. He said, quote, maybe I'm not strong-willed enough or calm enough to do just straight-up meditation, Zuckerberg said. I actually need to put myself in a situation where it's difficult to not focus on that thing, end quote. Zuckerberg said, quote, some of the folks I work with at the company, they say this lovingly, but I think they sometimes refer to my attention as the Eye of Sauron. You have this unending amount of energy to go to work on something, and if you point that at any given team, you will just burn them.
And that's
quote.
lovingly.
That's
I don't know. It didn't sound
lovingly.
too lovingly of.
Maybe it's a haha joke.
a haha joke.
I don't know. Maybe the metamates and Zucky have a little bit of a haha relationship, you know?
Haha, you know the metamates, the meta king.
Is
and the
Mark
metamates.
Zuckerberg the Eye of Sauron confirmed?
That's just
A buzz theory. I don't know how long I was for, so.
I don't know how. I feel like they give this man really weird names, and everyone has weird names at Meta now, and it makes me really uncomfortable.
I wonder if he's going through a midlife crisis.
Maybe.
I think that's what
if
he's
you were a
doing.
billionaire and had anything you could ever dream
I would go
of,
through a midlife crisis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be 10 times crazier than I am right now.
That,
Lara?
step away from the
Stop.
B-board.
I beg you, go back to your laptop.
Go back to the
I beg, go back to the corner, you little gremlin. I can't do this anymore.
No way. There's so much happening right now.
Please. Please, thank
Please,
you. If I had
please
one more sound
have
effect, I was going to
mercy.
scream.
I play the Windows sound effect
You played the Windows sound effect like 5 times. 10. You're
That's-
done. You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
Can we do the story about socks?
Yes, let's do the story about socks.
I
Sure,
love.
where's the story
I
about
just
socks?
Where
saw
is
that
it?
headline.
Where
and
is it? Oh, you're making me go down to the bottom of. Okay,
Where is the story about socks?
it's down at the
Sorry.
bottom. Okay,
It just was intriguing.
why? Okay.
Do it.
All right. New Jersey borough collects 38,743 pairs of socks, breaking a world record. A New Jersey borough celebrated its 100th town anniversary by collecting 38,743 pairs of socks in a single day. Wow. Breaking a Guinness World Record. Which New Jersey town, you may ask? Our Bergen County neighbors, Paramus. The Paramus Centennial Committee organized the sock donation drive Monday and ended up breaking the Guinness record for most socks collected in 8 hours. I don't think anybody else tried to break this, if we're being
8
honest.
hours. That's a lot of
Donna
socks.
Perkowski, co-chair of the Paramus Centennial Committee, said the number to beat was 37,556, which was set in Colorado in 2019. And Paramus successfully captured the record by collecting 38,743 pairs. I feel like I've said that number a million times already. Co-chair of the committee, Rosa Rizzolo, said, quote, "We picked socks because we figured socks could be used everywhere, and socks are the number one thing that shelters look for." The Centennial Committee said that the collected socks will be donated to local charities, including Paramus Friendly Neighbors, Greater Bergen Community Action, Center for Hope and Safety, Ava's Village, and CUMAC. Officials said that some of the socks might also be donated to Ukrainian refugees. So,
Socks.
That's a lot of socks.
okay, all the socks I've lost in my life, though, could probably add up to that number.
That's
Ye-
I'm not gonna play a sound effect, but this story knocked my socks off.
But
But tis. That would have been a good tis moment.
Stay in the corner.
Gabby-
Stay in the corner.
Gabby doesn't agree. They
No, I think she's low key right, but also like stay in the corner.
Get your
Stay in the corner. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Stay in the corner. No.
She is like a child. She's in timeout right now.
This is a cute story.
They collected
This
almost
is
5,000 socks an hour.
That's crazy.
a
You did
lot
the
of
math, didn't
socks.
you? Women in STEM.
Women in STEM, everyone.
Well, this is actually though, and it's great that they were able to donate to so many different charities and things like that. On a nice note, this is a great thing that they've done. I think it's really weird that there was a record for this that they broke. Like I just find that odd.
I feel
Like,
bad for the
why
people that
was
had to
there-
count it. I hope
Well,
all
so
the
what you
socks were
do-
washed.
So what you do is every time they're like donated, you add a number to the score.
No, I know, but like you just had to sit there and be like, "Oh, you brought 7 socks. Gotta add
Yeah,
that
and
to
then you
the
add it to
tally."
the score.
That's just mind numbing.
It is. Oh, it is, but
Cool.
it happens, and that's the way it works. And they probably were excited because they were gonna break a Guinness World Record. Congratulations, Paramus.
New Jersey makes moves. Doing
Making
socks.
moves. Socks.
That's all I have to
New
say about
Jersey
that. Why
knocks
were
the
you
socks
so
off.
intrigued by this?
I just saw the big number in socks, and I really wanted to get to it, and it was like the last story. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
I
In
have like
that
so
note-
many questions, like what were the patterns of the socks? What was the most donated socks? Why did people have so many socks? Where did all these people come from?
Are
to
you
bring
okay?
all of these socks? No, like I'm hyper fixated.
I think Emily is breaking down. She is going through her Mark Zuckerberg midlife crisis, and I think we need to just let her breathe.
Sorry, I'm just hyper fixated on that.
On the
number
socks?
and-
want an interview with her?
Can we interview her? Can we interview her?
I'll try.
She's probably easy to get because she's New Jersey. She's right there, and that's. Please.
Wait, can I ask her all of my sock questions?
Yes, you can be the
Sock
interviewer. I will. I will let you
try.
interview her. I'm taking over now.
Like,
You
what was
can.
the coolest sock you got? Like, I have so
Yeah, were there fun
questions.
socks?
She didn't go through the socks.
She probably did if she was the head
No,
of the
she
committee.
probably took like a picture, did a stand up, was like, "Hi guys, I'm outside of all of these socks," and then left.
left. No, I think because she's the head of the committee, I think she probably ran it.
True.
I kind of want to. I want to know. How many people were coming every minute?
No, exactly. Like I want to know, like,
Or how many
where did-
socks are people
Give us a
bringing?
stat.
Was there like a limit on socks that people could bring? Who had this many socks? Like
I'm telling you, with the amount of socks I've lost in my life, it's probably that
did
many
somebody
pairs.
like raid a Goodwill? Like, was there a qualification for the
Goodwill.
socks? Could they have holes in them?
No, probably not.
Could, like no, but like, do dress socks count? Like,
yeah, why wouldn't dress
I
socks
don't
count?
see. These are questions.
So in conclusion, stay tuned. Hopefully.
On that note,
On that note.
there's a story about the Church of Flying
Flying
Spaghetti.
Monster. I'm so glad you picked
Flying
that because I
Spaghetti
was so
Monster.
confused what this was.
I'm also kind of confused. So we're gonna read it.
Is this real? Lara, I have a question. Are these actually real stories today? Are you sure you're not pranking us?
I wish I was.
Okay.
That would have been really funny
What
last
is
week.
VC?
I know. Lara should have done better on April
I
Fools.
wasn't in a silly, goofy mood.
Well, now you are.
And we're about to get more in a silly, goofy mood because the Church of Flying Spaghetti Monsters leader ICBC Pirate Hat fight continues. Interesting. So the BC leader of the Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster continues to battle ICBC in his bid to wear a pirate hat for a driver's license photo.
I was so confused.
Right. So Gary Smith of Grand Forks, also known as the church's captain, argues his pirate hat is a part of the church's religious headwear. Smith identifies himself as a Pastafarian and a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Members are known to wear either their pasta colander or a three-cornered hat known as a pirate's tricorn on their heads. Smith claims ICBC should allow the photo request just as it has already been allowed for his ID as a marriage commissioner and for his firearms acquisition license. Smith said in an April 4th email to ICBC Fair Practices Officer Debbie Rafford, quote, I will have you note that as the captain of the Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster of BC, a legally constituted religious organization in good standing under the BC Society Act, I have successfully argued the right to wear religious headgear in conformance with my beliefs on 3 other occasions, end quote. Ending his advice, he said, quote, it's the future. I'm so sorry. In 10 or 20 years, I'm sure I won't even have to bring it up.
Are you sure you didn't just
End
copy
quote.
and paste and leave that
No,
line
from
in from
last
last week?
You know,
That was from last week. But maybe it is the future.
it.
Oh,
wait,
is that
that's not
actually
him?
from last
That was
week?
from last week.
Oh, that's not his quote then. He
Sorry.
just argued his beliefs. On
I
3
was
other
gonna say
occasions.
because I remember that distinctively.
Remember?
I did too, I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Remember when I
remember
said?
this.
Remember when I
Yeah.
said me and Lara share 2 brain cells? Well, one of those brain cells has died after reading that. Sorry, we only share one now.
He has a point.
Like, no.
Wait, hold on. What are you justifying?
What
I'm
are you
justifying.
I'm sorry. Do you think there's a flying spaghetti monster that is their
No,
god?
no. I'm not justifying that, but I think
That's
that
the way
he
of the future.
that it's the future. No, I think that he made a pretty okay argument for wearing his pirate hat in his ID picture.
Technically,
Technically
Yes.
speaking,
but also technically,
Nobody.
I have so many words that I'm literally not allowed to say on air because, like, why? Like, because I'm so flabbergasted.
Can we go back to the sock story?
No, I like this. I think I like this one more.
Do
I
his socks match with his hat?
Yo, exactly. No, I'm kidding.
Can I?
spaghetti socks.
Can I ask
Yes.
if you were to believe in something so crazy,
Mm-hmm.
what would you believe in?
God.
No, crazy.
All right.
Okay, let's not offend people now.
That's true. I am a Christian.
Sorry, he's gonna get canceled.
I'm gonna get
Like
canceled
something like
by
a spaghetti
God.
monster. I mean, I think I would believe in the Cookie Monster because he's real. The Cookie Monster.
He is real,
You're
but
welcome.
What is that?
Where's
thing?
the frog?
Skinwalkers?
Kermit the Frog here.
that's the Church of
What?
Kearney.
You don't believe in
Skinwalkers? Do you guys? Do you know what
Skinwalkers?
skinwalkers?
Stop! No,
Yes.
we're not having this. They literally scared me so bad. Lord help me. No,
You just said God isn't real. What are you talking
that's true.
How
I
is the Lord gonna help you if you don't believe in the Lord?
that's
Come
so
on now,
true.
Terry.
I do believe in the Lord. I'm sorry,
Oh,
God.
man.
This turned into
This became
Sunday morning.
religious.
But
You're done.
Lara's done. You didn't hear what she said. You don't need to hear what she said.
As a Christian, skinwalkers, no, please. I live at Hot Crossings, and there's significant amount of woods behind
Are you
our.
afraid a skinwalker's gonna come out?
Yes.
And get ya?
I was walking to your car, and I was like holding my pepper spray.
No way.
I was.
I don't think
that
if there
won't
was
stop a
actually
skinwalker.
skinwalkers, I don't think that would stop them.
They're coming
That's
for
so
you.
true.
They're coming for you.
No, please don't do this to me.
Oh.
Like seriously, this is gonna be awful walking to the show. Now I'm just like looking everywhere.
I
you know?
can't believe that you are that scared of something such as skinwalker.
They're scary.
Are you scared of Slenderman too?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I don't. I
Stop.
know he's not.
Literally,
I know
Lara,
he's
you
not
are
real.
still in timeout. Stop. Lara has to face the corner because she keeps saying out of pocket things.
Do you see the pocket?
Put the pocket back
Talk
in,
about
bro.
fucking things. I denounced my faith on air. Did I do something?
Did you say a word that I thought you said?
No.
It sounded like you did.
What did I do?
Anyways, I can't say it.
Okay.
I thought you said a word. and
Well,
I
tell
got
me
scared.
after.
I got scared. Sorry.
It's okay. But I did denounce my faith on air. But I didn't mean it, God, I swear. Anyways,
Wowzers.
do you
What
think
time?
do you think he should wear his colander or pirate hat and his ID picture?
Absolutely.
I mean,
At this
okay,
point,
so
let
here's
him.
the issue is that like hair changes all the time. Like I could literally take my ID picture and then go get a haircut and have completely different hair. So really, you covering up your hair, what does it matter?
That's true. I think he made a good argument. I genuinely.
Only reason I would be like is because some people look different with hats on. They look more attractive with hats on. Or
So
they
he
look
would
less
more
attractive
look
with
more
hats on.
attractive with a pirate hat on.
Maybe he does.
Or
I'm
a
taking
colander.
notes.
More
attractive.
Taking notes.
I need a colander
hat.
on my head to appear attractive. That is it. And that is the story.
Cool.
Cool. Lara,
Check on the rubber band.
Oh.
No.
it's not
seriously.
frozen by now.
Unless we have
Why
a
didn't
really
I?
powerful freezer.
Lara has to go check on the rubber bands.
Amazing.
You got 4 minutes.
4
We do
minutes.
have 4 minutes.
We
Do
have
we
4
have
minutes left.
time for the last story?
More
We
stuff
do have
like
time for
that?
the last
There's
story.
time
Let's
for
just-
another story.
let's
Go for it,
just-
Gabby.
Where is it? Oh,
Ski
ski resort closes season with dummy downhill event. Oh my gosh, I was looking at this video. A British Columbia ski resort celebrated the end of the season with its annual downhill dummy event, which features 13 faux skiers set careening down the slopes. The Apex Mountain Resort said 13 dummy skiers assembled by employees and local residents took the slopes during the weekend, resulting in some spectacular crashes. Apex Mountain Resort General Manager James Shulman said, quote, "It's always fun to do an event at the last weekend of the season. Last year, we couldn't really do it with COVID, and we didn't want to have an event that created so many people so close together. After a little hiatus, the dummy downhill's back, very well attended and loved by all," end quote. Shulman said about 500 spectators showed up to watch the event. So, in conclusion, they took these dummies, they made them look like skiers, and then
Sent
Lara
them-
had gotten the rubber bands.
Nope, you can finish.
Nope.
Get another rubber band.
Okay. So he
Not
took
good
the
enough.
he took the I'm blanking on the word. Oh, these dummies. Dressed them up like people, put skis on them, and then just shot them down a mountain. It was very funny.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, and they like crashed and everything. It's crazy. Kind of
Really?
If we're being honest. Oh wait, okay. So Lara brought the rubber bands back. If you were listening in the first hour, they feel exactly the same. They feel completely normal.
Are they cold?
They all kind of cold.
Just trying to get.
Not really. Actually, they feel very regular.
They probably need to be
Oh.
in there for longer. It's also
I know.
a mini
Well, she didn't
fridge.
Keep them overnight.
It's also
maybe.
was only like an hour
Not
that they were
even.
in there
Yeah,
for.
you have
Yeah,
to keep
not
them maybe
even.
overnight.
They need to go in overnight, which is why me
If
and
we
Emily are going
remember.
to actually test out this,
And if we
For
remember to
science.
tell
For
everyone,
science.
then we will let you all know.
and we will let you know next
Yep.
time we are on air.
Absolutely. Oh my
Because
gosh.
we don't know if we're going to come back next week. Yeah, we don't know if we're going to be back here next week. We still have to figure that out.
There's your control group.
So,
Pick control group.
so
We have nothing.
nothing. This is a regular
Yeah.
rubber band.
Don't hurt
Okay,
anyone.
Lara is
Okay.
showing
This is
Facebook.
the wet one.
This is the wet one.
Oh.
Ooh,
Okay.
she's
This
stretched.
is just the cold one.
Okay. So which
So-
one had the most stretch?
These two.
Like which
No
one out
way,
of those two
no
had the
way.
most stretch? Okay, a lot of
But
stretch
is
going
it-
on.
Are they all the same?
Lara
type
is
of
stretching
rubber
these
band?
rubber
No, it's not
bands,
that.
and they are. This is the not wet. I
Right.
feel like the
Oh,
wet
like-
got a little bit stretchier than the not wet.
No, like this one's stretchy.
I know. I feel like the wet one got really
The wet one's
stretchier
really
though.
stretchy. Like it like thins out.
Yeah, interesting.
Sorry to interrupt your.
No, I
speech.
think that was great.
Look, it's,
Honestly,
like, thin.
I think it's good. I think that's interesting. I also think that we need to actually test if it'll actually freeze.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned next Friday buzz.
On next
Next
Friday.
Friday.
Next Friday. If we're not here this Friday. I don't
If we're
know.
not,
Stay tuned. But that'll be fun.
but
I'm
we're nearing the
tired.
end. But if we're not here next week, we'll miss you all,
we will miss you guys.
and we
I'm
hope you have a
yawning.
great Easter.
Pause.
For
Yawning.
those who
Yes.
celebrate, and if you don't celebrate, just have a great weekend.
If you don't
Take-
celebrate,
Celebrate. If you don't celebrate,
if you don't celebrate Easter,
have a great weekend.
Jesus has risen.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He
Right
got-
now he's struggling,
Yeah, he's struggling, and then he's gonna,
and then he's gonna
and then he's gonna come
he's
back.
going to rise.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Day,
Anyways.
Jesus.
Oh my God, did they make you sing that too?
Yes,
Jesus is
of course.
a Pisces.
Jesus is a Pisces.
He gives me Pisces energy.
Is he though?
Nope.
He's
I don't know.
Capricorn.
What is the
I don't really know.
zodiac for December? Sag or no?
Sag and Capricorn.
But Capricorn's the later ones, right?
Yeah.
So Cap.
I just got a notification on my phone for Good Friday, and
That's so funny. Okay, well,
on that note, this has been the Morning Buzz on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and we'll see you soon. Maybe next week, maybe the week after that. But thanks for joining us today.
You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.